What's up, guys? Here to make number 2 in the video for our caliber swap. This will probably be extended to several different videos because I'm going to try and keep these videos kind of short and to the point. I'm going to start out with pellets, and we're going to be testing those. If you're just watching this video, I made one before this. The video before this on my channel was swapping calibers on my Wildcat. Went from 25 caliber down to 22 caliber. This is a slug liner that's in here, and it's a 700 millimeter. I've got a Donnie FL Ronin. I've also got a 2.5 inch power plenum on it, and I've also got a HEMA transfer port. Another thing that I did was for my pellet probe, it didn't quite line up all the way with my HEMA transfer port, and what I mean by that is the hole in the transfer port was much larger than the hole in the pellet probe. So what I did is took it down to my shop and took a grinder to it with a stone and made it oblong, or like a oval shape, egg shaped almost. And now it more matches what the hole in the transfer port is. So I'm sure that helped out a little bit if it was probably creating a choke point. I also got a HEMA transfer port, a HEMA regulator in here. So that's the list of modifications. I'm running Athlon Argos BTR. And it's a good scope. I'm pretty happy with the way this rifle shoots right now. And I was able to do some testing with the JSB redesigns. And I'll show you a picture there what those pellets look like. And those are grouping very good with the way this is tuned right now. I'm at 150 bar on the regulator. My hammer spring is about a half a turn in from maxed out. And we're shooting these around the 1,030 feet per second range. So we're going to do some accuracy testing today. I've got some stuff set up. I got the chronograph set up so you guys can check out what the shot string is. We'll also be able to see how consistent this new HEMA regulator is, and we'll see what the results are. So for starters, we're going to be doing the 25.39 grain JSB redesign, 22 caliber. So let's shoot some shots over the chronograph and see what kind of consistency we're getting to make sure that we can get our accuracy that we're looking for. And then we'll set up our targets out at 50 yards and we'll put some groups and see what it's doing. Okay, I've got the chronograph set up. I've got 10 rounds loaded in my clip, and we're going to shoot them all over the chronograph and see if we can document some kind of a consistent speed, and then we'll move on to the accuracy testing portion. Okay, not bad. This is about the, I guess, third clip I've gone through since I actually put the regulator in. So it looks like it's doing pretty good. I'm curious to see if maybe it'll settle in within time. You know, the more rounds I put through it, I'm sure the better off the better the consistency will be. But that's pretty consistent, especially to shoot out to 50 yards. So let's go ahead and set up the targets. We'll be shooting some paper, and I'll probably be shooting some 5-shot groups. So let me hang a target and move some cameras around, and then we'll check out our accuracy test. All right, we've got our target set up at 50 yards away. The wind picked up a little bit, but I think shooting this pellet at this speed for this distance, I don't think it's going to have too much of an impact on it, but we'll see how it turns out. I'm going to shoot 3 5-shot groups. So I got multiple targets set up, and we'll put a 5-shot group in a few of those, and we'll see what it looks like, and we'll go down and measure it in the end. I'm going to make some adjustments to the scope and see if we can get that a little bit more centered. Okay, so there's the groups. Let's go down there and check out what they look like. Okay, here we are. We've got 5 here, 5, 5. So this first group was the first fresh fill up. So I figured, you know, that was going to be a little bit off. It's always a little bit off whenever you first fill the gun. This one was not too bad. We have 4 right here and one off to the side. And down here, kind of got them spread out. I'm going to make one adjustment on the hammer spring, and I'm going to shoot 2 more groups here. So let's go ahead and make that happen, and we'll shoot another group. Okay, something I wanted to try before I made any adjustments to the hammer. I went ahead and took off the WFL Ronin, and I put on the factory can that came with it. So I'm going to see if that has any impact. There's a huge difference in weight, and that will change the harmonic balance of the gun. So let's see if that does anything to our groups. I'm going to go ahead and shoot another, we'll shoot 2 more groups, 2 5-shot groups. Let me figure out where we're hitting. Let me shoot one on steel real quick. Okay, so we're just hitting high. All right, let's try that 5-shot group again. Okay, so there's our groups. Not much of a difference, looks like, through the scope. I'll take the tape measure down there and let's go check it out. Okay, so our first shot, where I couldn't figure out where I was hitting, was high. Made some adjustments, got us there. This group was kind of off. I made some sight corrections. This one right here kind of settled down pretty good. Let's see there. So from outside to outside, that's 3/4 of a group from outside to outside, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It looks like, at least. Let me make since we got some targets here, let me make the corrections on the hammer spring. We'll go down 1 turn to from power setting 7 to 6, and let's shoot another group and see what it does. Okay, before I make adjustments to the power wheel, I decided to actually put my other bipod back on here. I don't know, I usually shoot with this bipod right here, and just kind of to switch things up, I had switched it out with the one that I had on my impact. And I threw this back on here, and I want to see if this has anything, if it'll make any difference. The other bipod is a little more rigid. This one's has a little bit more flex, and I'm sure it'll probably have some kind of an impact. So I got another full clip. We got a new target set up there. We're still on power setting number 7. Let's take, we'll do 2 more 5-shot groups, and we'll see what that looks like, possibly 3 5-shot groups. And we'll see if that changes anything. I still got the factory can back on here, switched out from my Ronin, because that gave us better results compared to the Ronin at this particular setting. So let's see what happens here. Okay, that's a lot better. And that middle target, I did pull that one off to the left. Let's go walk down there with the tape measure and check that out. Okay, so this group looks a lot better. Now, this one was my fault. I pulled that one. That's why I shot this other group. But here's my thumb. Covers easily all of these. That one was a pretty good group. Let me get the tape measure out. So even from the one that flew, that's still under ½ inch, less than ½ inch. Well, we'll say ½ inch center to center. But that right there, there's 4 right in the same ragged hole. One of them flew off. We got 2 touching, kind of pretty linear. That one is me. And even in this first group, they're almost all touching. That's not bad. So, let me see here. That's just over ½ inch center to center. You can almost call that a cheater ½ inch center to center group. So that's 3 really good groups right there compared to our last ones. And all I did was change out the bipod. So let's go back to the table and we'll do some discussions on what probably caused this and how this impacts the shooting, and maybe it'll help you guys out. So I'll see you in a bit. Okay, I'm back here to look at this target in some more detail. I got the calipers out, and let's measure a more accurate center to center. Okay, so that's just above ½ inch. Let me write these down. This next one. That's, you know, this was 100% me. I pulled the trigger. I jerked it on that one. Man, almost exactly the same. 629. The last one. Center to center. Yeah, that's our farthest. So, last one, 0.473. So that's pretty good. That's under an inch, and that's consistent. That's all 3. You know, all 3 of these are about under half inch, almost. You know, 0.6, 1/10 of an inch over. That's pretty good. Let me go ahead and set the camera down here. Now, for that whole tuning setup, I started out, you know, I shot one suppressor. Before I changed anything as far as settings on the gun, I changed to another suppressor, or if you can call the factory can a suppressor, you know, and it changed how our group was. And then again, changing just from one bipod to the next, you know, that made a difference in the groups. And that took us from almost an inch, over 3/4 of an inch center to center to under almost ½ inch, you know, ½ inch on our best group, under ½ inch on our best group. And who knows, you know, if I would have sorted the pellets and we didn't have any kind of breeze whatsoever, that could, you know, definitely be, say, 3/8 of an inch, definitely under ½ inch. So when it comes to tuning your rifle, just because now this can go for, you know, the Wildcat or FX gun or whatever gun you have, if you don't have all the adjustments that, say, an Impact or a Crown has, doesn't mean that you can't tune your rifle. It is nice when you have, you know, you can adjust your regulator and you can adjust your hammer tension and whatnot. But just changing a few things will, you know, change the way your point of impact is, and could have a drastic effect on your groups. I didn't have to mess with anything on my hammer spring and on my power wheel, and I was able to get my groups to tighten up. So I think that's kind of shows right there that there's more to be seen here. That it's easy to overlook minor adjustments on your rifle and consistencies in your own shooting that lead to accuracy. You can, you know, if you're chasing a tune and you can't get your pellets to tune, and you're going up and down on your regulator and up and down on your hammer spring, and just you can't seem to find that group that you're getting, maybe change up your shooting style. Throw some cardboard under your bench, or shoot on a different bag. Put something else under your bag. You know, it could be something as, you know, the difference between this bipod and that one is this is very rigid when it's extended, and this one here has a little bit of play. You can kind of see it rocks. And that was enough of a difference for it to change the way the groups, you know, hit on target at 50 yards. So the takeaway from this is, even though you don't think, maybe if you don't think your rifle has the adjustability as, you know, the nicest, fanciest rifles that you see, it doesn't mean that you can't tune your rifle by tinkering with your setup. Now, not everybody's going to have, you know, multiple suppressors on hand, but it could be a simple, is changing the positions on your bipod, extending it another leg or two, or taking the bipod off and shooting off of a bag, or just putting something more solid on the back, or changing the grip, pulling it into your shoulder with your shooting with your trigger finger, your trigger hand, or the way I like to shoot is I'll push pressure into my shoulder with my offhand, my non-trigger hand, and I'll experiment with tight grip, loose grip, and all those types of shooting styles will impact how your shots group downrange. So that's something not to not be overlooked. And once you go from there and get your shooting techniques kind of consistent, then it doesn't hurt to start messing with your rifle. But I was able to keep the setting that I wanted on my power, adjust everything else without adjusting the rifle, the actual power settings, and improve my groups pretty good. And you guys saw it there on camera. So just something to keep in mind. Pay attention to your consistency when you're shooting, and if you're putting reasonable groups, try changing one of those things up. Change up your grip a little bit. Change up what you're shooting off of. Sometimes I would stick cardboard just like this under my bipod, and it'd make it more loose. And now I have the double blanket, and it doesn't catch. I tried loading it up. What I mean by that is putting it on like dirt, and with my legs at 45 degrees, I would push into it and make sure that the rifle was solid. And for this gun and my shooting style, that didn't work too well. My groups ended up getting worse. But for you, that could end up working. And the opposite of that is not having any tension, no load on the rifle. So there's lots of different shooting styles to experiment with, and one of them could help lead to your accuracy that you guys are trying to get. If you guys have any questions about what we did today, leave them in the comments and I'll get back to them. I'm going to make another few videos coming up in the next few days, hopefully. It's already going to start raining here probably in the next hour. It usually rains every evening over here. But I still got some good daytime tomorrow where I don't have anything planned. I'm going to try to work on another video. I want to do some slugs. I've got some 28 grain varmint knockers, and I did put one clip through this gun already, and it shot them pretty good. I'll need to spend some more time like I did with this to get some real tight groups like this, but I think those slugs definitely show potential. I did shoot some the JSB Jumbo Heavies. Those are 18 grains. And I also shot some of the JSB Hades through here at this power setting. The Hades they're blitzing. They're at 1,224 feet per second. And it's breaking the sound barrier. When I first shot one out of here, I almost thought I shot my silencer off because I'd never had the Wildcat, shoot anything that broke the sound barrier. And man, it was loud. It's as loud, literally as loud as a 22 long rifle. You almost need hearing protection to shoot those little pellets. The 18 grains aren't quite as loud, but they're still breaking the sound barrier. And I loaded up half a clip of each when I shot, and they didn't look like they were going to be grouping at that speed. That's just going way too fast for those little lightweight pellets. So for the way the rifle's set up right now, the next few videos are going to be heavier slugs and pellets. I've also got some 22 grain varmint knockers on the way, and I think those will show some promise as well. And also, what I'll probably end up doing too, eventually before I switch back down to the lightweight pellets, is get another sleeve of the 22 caliber hybrids, the FX hybrids, and see how those shoot at this speed, and then see what they're shooting. So, like I said, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thank you guys for all your previous comments and the support, and I look forward to making the next video for you guys. So I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.